So we're going to take the guesswork out of it right now. If you want to stick with only fragrances that you can wear anytime, anywhere, for any season, that's going to work all the time, you're going to want to look into these 12 right here. Because once you really start to get into this hobby, you start to get into specific styles of fragrances. And then you end up with certain fragrances that you may only wear on a date, certain ones that you may only wear to work, certain ones that you may only wear in wintertime or in fall or for any other specific situation. Once you start accumulating a lot of things, you can categorize things. And that's great and all, but not everyone wants to have hundreds and hundreds of bottles. So if you're new to collecting, or if you've been around the fragrance game for a while but you really want to simplify things, really at the end of the day, your best bet is to get into some ultra versatile, anytime, anywhere, all year round scents. A lot of these that we're going to be looking at here do still have a bit of depth to them, so they're not going to be just purely fresh to work all year round and kind of go the basic route, right? They're all going to have some substance to them. They're going to be a little bit interesting in their own way, and I think you'll find that a lot of these will be kind of impressive in their own little specific way. I think that's pretty cool. So I will provide links to these down below as per usual. If you want to pick these up for a discount, you can do so there. And also, I will see you over on my community tab. If you don't know what the community tab is, well, it's a place where I can post to you guys other than videos. And over there, multiple times a day, I'm posting fragrance deals on rare, discontinued, and hard to find fragrances, on new fragrances, and everything else in between. If there's a way for you to save the maximum amount of money in this hobby, it's going to be on that community tab. Get subscribed so you see those posts, and bookmark that page as well. Hugo Boss Selection. Pink pepper, musk, and grapefruit are some of the main notes here. Man, this one's about $25, sometimes around $30. You can get testers, I believe, with no cap. Save a little bit, but I think it's best to spring for the full presentation and spend the whopping $30 on this. It's actually really impressive. You know, it's going to have a little bit of a spicy kick up top with the grapefruit, and then it dries down to some light woods and a good dose of musk. It smells very pleasant, very refined, very clean, very masculine, and somewhat traditional. Even the bottle here is very simplistic and classy and modern, and it accompanies the scent very well. It's a great cheapie that works anytime, anywhere, all year round, for any situation, and you get great compliments too. Next up, we have a fragrance that has kind of gotten a good amount of hype, mainly because it gets compared to another very hyped fragrance. This one is MISSONI Parfum, and this one gets dubbed as a Bleu de Chanel clone, which I'll be straight up, and I've said this before, I don't think it's a Bleu de Chanel clone. Are there some similarities, mainly from the grapefruit and maybe from the birch, which would give a little bit of a smoky grapefruit smell like Bleu de Chanel? Sure, you can draw some lines there, but aside from that, they go in different directions. So it does have grapefruit and birch. There's some musk in here, some other light woods. Really what this is a fresh, clean, spicy, and slightly warm men's fragrance. Nice atomizer on these, magnetic cap, so the presentation is really nice for the price, and that price point is going to be in the $40 range. Similar deal where testers do not come with a cap. I recommend just going for the full presentation because you really aren't saving that much at the end of the day, and I know most of you will probably regret not getting that nice magnetic cap. This is one of those scents that has some freshness for the summertime, but also a little bit of a warm, spicy, semi-smoky depth for the fall and winter time. Works for anything. Kind of following that trend, that style, we have the newer DIOR Homme 2021, and this is really confusing because it actually came out this year in 2022, but I believe this is labeled 2021. So it's kind of weird. I think overseas, this one got pushed out last year. They could get their hands on it, but I think us in the United States just got access to it this year, and thus maybe they labeled it as a 2022 release. I really don't know how that happened. But all I know is it has a really nice, modern, but also more traditional take on a sporty scent. So this one has a ton of lemon going on in here. You get that right off the top. You get ozonic notes. You get some woods going on as well, some vetiver, that sort of thing. It has more of a classy feel, more mature, it's more rich, and it's still sporty. So, you know, even though you're getting some of those maybe less fresh notes, you still kind of have an uplifting, sporty scent from opening to dry down. Personally, I really like this one a lot. You know, before this, my favorite Dior Homme Sport would have been probably the 2012. I really liked the 2008 version. The 2017, I just never really got along with. It was never something I enjoyed. I have it, but I've like hardly worn it because I don't care for it that much. And now with this one here, this has probably become one of my favorites. This is going to be right next to the 2012 and 2008. You know, those are a thing of the past. They're not made anymore. They're hard to get. But I do think that this is probably one of their better releases right here. It's very wearable, very mass-pleasing. And don't think that just because it's a sport fragrance that it has weak performance or that it's not very versatile, maybe that it's only for warm weather. None of that's true. It's a good performer and it works for anything. So we're going to go up with a little clone here. Up next, we have Lattafa Suquat. Now this one here is an eau de parfum, and this smells very, very similar to a very popular men's scent, Acqua di Gio Profumo, which you guys know if you've watched this channel for any amount of time, that's one of my favorites. So you can imagine when I get my nose on something like this, I'm going to be critical of it because I know what they were trying to do. I can see right through that, and so if this wasn't that good, I would have said so. But you know what? They did a very good job of replicating that Acqua di Gio Profumo DNA and kind of really bringing it into a package that is much more affordable. I do believe at discounters, if you use the link down below, you can get a 100 ml for like $21, which is insane because Acqua di Gio Profumo, 4.2 ounce, you're looking at around 100, a little bit over that. So big savings here. And while it's not 100%, it's about as close as you can get. And this DNA, aquatic with a little bit of a smokiness and some patchouli, works all year round for any situation. You gotta have this one. So we do have 12 to go over here. I'm gonna try to pick it up. We have Dolce & Gabbana, the one gray, the cheapest one. The cheapest, the one, you know, basically what I'm trying to say is, because it's kind of hard to say, this is the cheapest one out of the entire line, okay? Discounters, testers, $40, full presentation, $45, $50, somewhere around there. Can't remember exactly for sure. I do believe the testers come with caps, although I could be wrong on that one, but I do know that you can get this one for just about next to nothing. It's got grapefruit, it has tobacco, but then it also has a heavy dose of vetiver. This is the one DNA, but with vetiver, and it's fresher. So the way I think about it is Dolce & Gabbana, the one, EDT, EDP, has a great date night scent. This one is what you wear to work, to school, during the day, and it works great, really for anything. I actually really like this one a lot. It's Lacoste Match Point. This is going to be the eau de parfum. It's got citrus, patchouli, and vetiver as some of the main notes. I like the EDT. You know, when that one came out, I was pretty excited for it. I like the bottle behind it. I like the marketing. I like the note breakdown. I smelled it, thought it was pretty good, but the eau de parfum very much improves on that. It's richer, it's stronger, it's slightly heavier, it's creamier. However, it's still incredibly versatile. It doesn't take it to a point where it leans too far in one direction or the other. It's simply more refined and, to me, more well thought out and more interesting. And it's still going to work for anything. Kind of like YSL Live up next here. Now this one here has juniper, it's got ginger and bergamot along with the signature amberwood, ambroxan accord going on in here. Man, does this smell good. I mean, this DNA simply just works, and this will work until the end of time. Now, I do believe that YSL Live has been discontinued. If you look on YSL's website, nowhere to be found, and I'm almost 100% sure that even on retailers, this one has been pulled. However, you guys know my rule. I only talk about things if you can get them, even if they're discontinued, and you can get this on most discounters. I'll link it down below to the best price currently, but there still does seem to be a pretty good stock of it on the gray market, and so if you want to get in on it now while you can, because at some point you're not going to be able to, now would be the time to do so. This will become a collectible one day. And to really what this is, it's even more of a kind of sweet, refined, but also yet kind of modern and cookie cutter take on the YSL DNA. Really, if you're wanting maximum compliments, I would go with either this one or the EDP. But really, if you're only caring about compliments and you don't have one single desire for something a little bit more well put together, then go for this one right here. This gets compliments like crazy and it works anytime. Go with another fresher one here. We have Ferragamo, UOMO, and this is going to be Urban Feel. So we've got bergamot, ambroxan, and ozonic notes as some of the main notes. Really nice bergamot opening, smells great. It's tart, it's refreshing, it wakes you up. You get the ambroxan kind of sparkling tinge as well, and then this airy, light kind of ozonic accord, which gives it almost kind of an oceanic type of texture. Smells really nice. It's primarily fresh here, so it's going to favor the warmer weather more so. However, it does have some bite to it to where it'll work great in the wintertime as well. Another one of my personal favorites, we have Ralph's Club. This is going to be the eau de parfum. It's got lavender and clary sage and all of that good stuff going on in here. I gotta say, I love the DNA. I really like the new parfum as well. However, in terms of full-on versatility and what we're trying to do here with this video, the EDP will probably be the better choice. You know, it's aromatic, but it also has a little bit of a tiny bit of a sweetness and some of that blue fragrance inspired thing going on. It's a good performer, it's modern, it's mass pleasing, you can wear it for anything. You really can just not go wrong with anything like this. Running down to the end, we have La Nuit de l'Homme Eau Electrique. So again, we're talking Eau Electrique, not Bleu Electrique. Completely different. Bleu Electrique, man, it even hurts to say it. We have it no longer, right? That one lasted not even a full year. They took it away from us. Great, great scent. But Eau Electrique is still good as well. You can still buy this one on discounters. And the easiest way to describe this one is it's Versace Eros, but with a little bit more of a creaminess, but also a little bit more fresh. So it's fresher in nature, but it also is a little bit more creamy and smooth, more well blended together and smoothed out. Whereas Eros, you get the mint, but then you also get the tonka, but then you also get the vanilla. Everything kind of darts out. This one is like a smooth blanket, but fresher. That's kind of what I'm saying here. A little bit more refined to me, which makes sense because it is a more expensive scent. And I really, really enjoy it. I really do. This can easily be labeled as generic and boring, but compared to something like Eros, it really has a lot more going on here. It's very wearable, can work great in the springtime, early summer, even into late summer if you're climate controlled primarily, but if you go outside with it, you're not going to be messing things up too bad. It's not that big of a deal. And of course, it'll really crush it through wintertime as well. It has a lot more versatility than you may think. We're going to go with a mega cheapie for our second to last. This is Antonio Banderas, the Icon. This is the Eau de Toilette. Dylan Blue inspired, Sauvage inspired, but this is a $14 scent for a 100 milliliter tester. Did you hear that? Nice pressurized atomizer that has that signature click sound to it. One more time. If that doesn't sound attractive, I don't know what does. And if this doesn't smell good, well, you're probably a niche snob, and that's okay. I love niche fragrances as well. But if you want ultimate mass appeal for something that literally costs the same price as a roll of paper towels, check this one out. And last up, Calvin Klein DEFY. Now, this one here kind of goes in that YSLY EDP direction, but then it goes heavy on the vetiver. This one's kind of funny because I can always tell who has actually tried this one and who hasn't, because the people who just go with what everyone else says and kind of just follow what everyone else is saying and don't have their own thoughts, they just say, oh, it smells just like YSLY EDP, don't buy it. And the people who have actually tried it and tested it on their skin are like, oh, wait a minute, it's actually different. Because yeah, even if you do try it, right, and you spray it up in the air or on paper and you smell it one time, Yeah, it smells like YSL EDP. It's in that genre. However, that is not the fragrance. That is the opening in the air. That's the worst way to test something. When you get this one on your skin and you let it dry down, it goes so vetiver heavy that you almost don't even really compare it to a YSL EDP anymore. It makes a huge change, and so it's interesting to see because you can kind of weed out the people who are full of crap and the people who are actually trying this stuff, right? And to be fair, it's a Calvin Klein. They're automatically going to have some choice words to say about their fragrances because they're flanker crazy and they produce a ton of stuff. But they were actually onto something here. Super versatile, smells fantastic. It's a decent performer. The new Eau de Parfum is out. I actually prefer this one here. For ultimate versatility, honestly, you can't go wrong, especially now that it's at discounters. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. 12 fragrances that work anywhere, anytime, and all year around. I mean, it can't get easier than this. Links will be down below to these, and again, please check out my community tab, posting deals there every day, multiple times a day. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.